Hello, welcome to another episode of Drinking with Comics. My name is Sean,
I'm Mike.
and this is my second week of sobriety, and it will be my last for the foreseeable future. Good to know that I drink beer every day, and I have for over 20 years. Good to know that I can do this. Not really been a problem, but it is a little bit like holding your breath for 2 weeks. So I we'll come back next week. We got a lovely stout. But for now, I'm drinking black coffee because you know what? I drink three things and nothing else. I drink water, I drink coffee, and I drink beer. That's it.
Okay.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking Waterloo again, this time cherry limeade.
I heard they have a salmon berry blast.
Yes. Wait a
It's
minute.
like salmon. So it's like
Salmon?
salmon and then some kind of berry and then I don't know what the blast. No, I'm kidding.
Like, okay.
I'm totally kidding. Um,
You threw me
so
off there. I was like, salmon?
it sounds like a thing, doesn't it? Salmon berry
Yeah.
blast.
When you say it fast, I was like, thought you were saying something else. Salmon?
uh,
Saying? Is that a
Salmon
fruit?
rusty berry blast.
Yeah. Is that a fruit?
We're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
start today. We're going to discuss the latest episode, or the latest issue, I should say, of G.I. Joe. So this is our
Woo.
Energon, whatever. Um,
Drunk on Energon.
yeah, but sober on Energon,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
not, nearly as fun. So this is number
Sober on
19.
Energon.
And I gotta say, I saw this cover solicited a while ago, and
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty pumped. I like this, Hound and Duke, like forehead to forehead, not like the
Yeah.
forehead to forehead of that weird Hall and Oates cover where it's like, are they fucking? It's not like that. What'd you think of this issue?
I liked it. I think it's a pivotal issue in the whole Energon universe. For like, this is the now it's GI Joe is teaming up with Transformers. They're meeting for the first time. You get the whole like Zartan needs Energon to survive.
Yeah, and is an
Um,
independent party.
is an independent party, yes, and he's using both sides to get what he needs.
Yep.
Matt Tracker from Mask, who was the series was just announced this week, so I'm
Oh,
very
was it?
excited about. Yes, so there's Dan Waters is writing it.
Yeah, Waters rules. Oh, dude, that's
Okay,
awesome.
yeah,
Nice.
so that's going to be happening in a couple months, which we knew it would as soon as
Yeah,
that
yeah.
special came out. But yeah, so like it's expanding. It's crossing over in more ways than just this one had like technically three of the major. Everyone was in it that was got a little Mask, got a little GI Joe, a little Transformers.
Yeah.
So now I'm just waiting for Battle Beasts.
Wait, that's the thing that's in, isn't that in the Invincible universe?
No, that's Battle Beast. I'm talking Battle Beast. They were little 2-inch little beast
I thought that's what
figures.
that was. Oh,
No,
that's,
no, no,
oh,
no.
okay.
Fire beats water
I
or
remember, I
fire. Yeah.
remember. For some reason, I thought that's what that was.
No,
Interesting. Okay.
he's one character named that. Clearly,
Okay.
he got the name from that. But yeah. So yeah, the Energon universe is growing. It was a good, solid issue. I'm excited. No Cobra though.
Yeah. I really, so first of all, I like this idea that like you said, you're getting like the Joes and the Autobots, but even like Clutches, it like goes so far as to say like Hound is a GI Joe.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting to me, and I feel like where I don't know that that would have ever worked in one of the continuities previously, that would totally work in this book. So I'm all like, if they want to do that,
There
please.
was in the image verse at one hot minute Thundercracker
Wait, the
or
image for this
Skywarp.
is
No, in the image. Oh no, sorry, the IDW verse.
okay. Got it. Got it.
At one point in time, Thundercracker or Skywarp was a member of GI Joe. I think it was
That's interesting.
Skywarp. Um, but yeah, it was. It sounded kind of neat. Like he was then the member of the team. But that was the only time I've ever seen that before. Yeah.
So this isn't the first time that one of the Decepticons has become good. Then
Mhm.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ah,
I have
okay.
never read it, so I don't know the whole story behind it. But
Huh.
yeah, there was a time when he wasn't an Autobot; he was a GI Joe.
Well, so, and and like you said, there's no Cobra, and the interesting thing here is the end. So I love this setup with Matt Tracker, and that makes perfect sense that you say they announced the book because that he meets this. I don't know who this Fed is or whatever. He's like, it's time to come in. Basically,
Yeah.
all is forgiven. We know you were framed by mayhem and blah blah blah. So I'm reading this thinking like, okay, so he's like, is Mask gonna like be a separate thing from GI Joe? Because again, there's so many factions in this
Mm.
book. I love it, and then it ends with Scrap Iron showing up to like there's a hit on Tracker or whatever, right? And like Tracker or Scrap Iron is working for Mayhem, Miles Mayhem, not for Cobra. So I just love the autonomy going on here. Like Zartan's
Yeah.
doing his own thing, Scrap Irons with Destro, then Cobra, then he's with Mayhem. Like because
He
it
was with
it
Destro, wasn't he, for a hot minute?
he was and he probably still
Yeah.
is. But the thing is, these guys are all mercs for hire, so it makes sense that like I mean. I'm gonna take leave from Destro and fucking go, earn a cool mill hunting this dude down for Miles Mayhem or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
it, I just and also I've talked about this before. I think I love Scrap Iron. I just love Scrap Iron. So
I like his big 4x4 monster truck he's driving around.
that's got his big missile thing in the background. I
Yeah,
love that.
exactly. Yeah. And
Um,
he just goes into like what was that, like a derby or a monster truck show or whatever, and just starts blowing people up
yeah,
just to get to one guy.
yeah, so crazy. But yeah, man. The book has definitely become something that it's I mean it was never like a chore to read, but I was always kind of like it's not living up to the promise. We talked about this many times, that initial Cobra Commander series and the Duke series. And now I feel like it is. Now I feel like, okay, and I feel like they even heard your like your criticism that like it's too much for one book, and they're doing a really good job of jumping around, right? I
Yeah.
feel like we could still use more, but they're doing a pretty fucking good job. Some of that was bi-weekly. Yeah.
Yeah. When you do a bi-weekly, you do crank out a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Also, I really liked this exchange between Baroness and CoverGirl, where it's like, do you know how hard it is to get sand out of the leather? I do actually. Let's grab a drink after and we can compare notes.
I like they're becoming friends after their shared trauma together. Like
Yes.
um, I'm almost like at first I was like, yeah, she's gonna turn. I don't want Baroness to turn evil. I kind of like the fact that she is this rogue
Yeah,
Joe. It's fun, and
it
like
is.
I like that we are 19 issues in and still no Snake Eyes. I'm kind of
I,
cool with that.
I'm totally cool with that. I'm so fine with it. It's, you know, I'm just, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. So I
Yeah,
agree. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. That's GI Joe 19. So short and
yeah.
sweet, good issue. I was gonna say, so okay, so speaking of IPs, Mike and I had talked about. He showed me he bought. Pull out that tome that you showed me last week. So Mike picked this up. What is this, Mike?
Is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe mini comic collection. Look how freaking thick that is.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty thick.
contains all of the original comics that came with the toys. And all the toys that came after the ones when we stopped buying the toys too. So like the She-Ra comics are in here, the He-Man comics are in here. The I'm not gonna say crappy, but there was like a He-Man second series where he was in space.
Oh,
Those comics are in here. The when they brought back the toys in the late '90s, early 2000s, those comics are in here. So there's a lot of comics in here from the toys and just the toys. They weren't the comics that came out.
right. Because Marvel did do a Masters of the Universe series at some
Yeah,
point, and there have been other ones too,
yeah.
along the way.
But
But
this
that
is
that
just
was
the toy ones, so it's all in the rawest. like before the cartoon even came out, some of these were
Right.
created, which is interesting. There's it's not like an adult read, obvious, but there's some interesting, like, where they were coming from originally with He-Man, not even being not even being Prince Adam like he was in the show, but his
Yeah.
own, just this own dude.
Um, so I just happened, he showed me that, and I'm like, oh, I actually have a Kindle version of, it's not all of that. It's like, so maybe it's half of that. I don't know. But so we're like, oh, let's start doing a little, MOTU moment or whatever.
Yeah, the MOTU moment.
We talked about just starting with like, there's a couple introductions and then the first two like mini comics.
Yeah,
And it is like exactly what you said that struck me. So first of all, the first couple mini comics aren't actually comics; they're more like storybooks because it'll be a static picture
hmm.
and then words underneath.
When I first looked at this, I thought that's what it was too. Like, I remember reading these, and I thought, I was like, oh yeah, because I got it from the school book fair. But no, and then reading it, I was like, no, these were the comics. And it was, yeah, no, I did read them when they were comics too. So obviously that's what that was.
Right.
Um, but yeah,
But it is interesting that very first comic, He-Man starts out leaving his tribe. So it's like a
yeah,
tribe of like, not exactly Neanderthals, but like they're almost like savages, and he goes on like a quest or whatever. So I thought that was interesting because yeah, no fucking Prince Adam.
yeah. And then Tila was green. Um, or no, then she was the sorceress because I thought she was the sorceress
Yeah,
was
I
going
got
to be the
confused here
Tila.
with who was
Yeah,
Tila and who was the sorceress in this first one, but it was
I
fine.
think the point was she was supposed to be the sorceress originally, and then they changed her
Oh
up, which they kind of. I don't know. Does your book have the indentation, like the notes on the bottom when you read it?
no,
So there's hold on one second.
like editor notes.
Yeah. So sorry. There's little notes on the bottom of the book that tell you like so while many fans attribute the name Goddess to the green character with the Cobra armor, it's actually the Sorceress in the first mini comic. Later, the Sorceress story and design will be changed completely.
Yeah, because the
So
sorceress is the bird looking chick, right? Like,
yes. So this is the sorceress, and then obviously they change her around and she becomes the bird. But yeah, originally she was supposed to be that, and then eventually this character evolved into Tila. But originally the sorceress was Tila.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's raw and unformed, but I will
Hmm.
I will say like dude, and I'll put a picture in, but like this art right here, holy shit, I love this.
Oh
There's
yeah,
just
the art's amazing.
there's some stuff in here that like was very formative to my ideas about graphic fiction or whatever you want to say. Um, I really really enjoyed this.
They pointed out in one of the forwards was like this is one of the top selling comic books at its time because you get one with each toy, and they were
Yep.
selling millions of these toys. So
Yep.
like yeah, I mean, Superman was doing cool and all, but he wasn't doing Masters of the Universe because he didn't come with a toy.
Oh, it was like some insane number of toys sold.
Yeah.
So let's see. So the first, let's see. So there's the first comic or storybook is He-Man and the Power Sword, and the second one is King of Castle Grayskull. And they also don't. The continuity doesn't quite fit between the two, but it's fine.
No,
But
because I
then
think they mentioned like they were forming when the
yes,
second one came out. They were like, "Oh, well, we realized we want to do this instead, so we're doing this." And yeah, and He-Man's strength didn't even come from the sword; it came from that weird
yeah, the
armor
the
he wore
vest
too.
or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
harness. So yeah, it says in the first 2 years of production, approximately 70 million toys were sold worldwide.
Hmm.
This means that Masters of the Universe mini comics have some of the largest print runs in the history of comics. As a result, numerous variations exist, and it talks about and shows some of the variations. Yeah, the first forward is Tim Kilpin, who was
Okay.
Mattel president, but at the time he was, it was like he talks about how he basically got a job like doing like copy editing and stuff like that, and then he
Hmm.
got to name the characters and stuff, and obviously worked his way up, but really, really, really interesting. So I don't know what I paid for this on Kindle. I bought it years ago. I've read some of this before. I never read the whole thing, but whatever I paid for it. I'm gonna guess the way I do Kindle. I'm gonna guess it was like under $10 because it's
Hmm.
typically I don't. If it's a digital book, I'm not gonna spend more than that because
Yeah.
if I spend more, I want something physical. Um, but yeah, whatever I paid was worth it. And now the tome you have, what is that? That's like $50.
$50. I guess it was originally 30 when it came out 10 years ago, but that's, the economy.
Yep, there you go.
But
Uh,
yeah, I think $50 were like a small hand-sized omnibus pretty much is pretty impressive,
yeah,
especially with the amount of stuff you get into it. And like it doesn't need to be it's already blown up, because they were
yeah,
like, this size, now they're this size, and it's still smaller than a comic, but still bigger than the original. And they were kind of weirdly square sized too. They weren't like smaller
yes,
comics. So
right,
it makes sense that you probably can't really go much bigger because it would just get weirder on the shelf. Like, I mean,
yeah,
they could make it bigger, but I'd rather pay $50 and have it this size than 100 to have it bigger, which
right,
is
right.
what you would pay for that. Yeah.
I mean, and like you said, the writing isn't exactly like adult writing, but it's not like
No.
it's not juvenile, but also like I'm more interested in this as like I don't know, as history, like kind of
Yeah.
a
Looking
sociological and
looking
like a
back at something that we read as a kid and I haven't read since and
yeah,
kind of scoffed at as a kid and probably didn't even really read uh, um, like all the way through. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what my short attention span would have been like back then.
oh, I took
Um,
that shit seriously for
oh,
sure.
I'm sure you did. But to my brain, I probably would have been like, wait, this ain't like the cartoon, and then go.
Right, right. I
Um,
definitely read this before the cartoon came out for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I did that too. Because I remember watching a cartoon going, that's different. But then, like, well, I guess this is how it is. And just left.
I, yeah, the cartoon does not. I remember in college, so like in the late '90s, somebody gave me like they had videotape. I don't know where it came from, but I tried watching. I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
It was awful. So never
Too.
revisited that. I know there was one like around 2010. I never saw that, but I really liked the two Kevin Smith ones. I thought those were
Yeah.
excellent.
I think those were good. I'm really looking forward to the movie. Um, I mean, it could go either good or bad, but I'm looking forward to it regardless. If anything, I'm just looking forward to see it all in, like an actual accurate looking movie compared to
Right.
the original one.
Yeah. Right.
So, like if it won't if it doesn't make adult me happy, it's going to make the childhood in me happy. For like, finally, I get the movie I wanted 20,
Right.
30
Right.
years ago. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. But um, that's a wait and see. I want to see more. I'm optimistic about it. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. I'm not, but also I've learned lately that I'm wrong a lot. So we're going to come back for our next episode and start it off with a new segment that I call Sean is wrong, or Sean was wrong.
Sean
So
was wrong. I would never
that,
say that, but
oh man, I say it all the time these days.
I
So
know.
yeah, we'll be
Apparently
back with
so.
that.